Here we are, 6 a.m. on the dot here on this Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend, everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Iranpour. The weekend flew by, as
Just
they
like
usually
that, right?
do. Let's see what's going on as we're starting off a new week. For many people, the last week of summer before
That's
ski
true.
weekend.
Get those last-minute summer memories in.
I know. It feels like we really are in the midst of summer when it comes to the actual
Back to
seasons
school,
at hand.
Right.
But I know that the kids are probably not too stoked to be headed back to school. Parents might be. They might be a little more excited for it. 6 o'clock on the dot. Good morning to you. We've started off August with more of the same. The month of July was really warm, and it looks like the first couple days of August will follow suit. Upper 70s along the coast, upper 80s inland, 96 on average toward the mountains, and 116 for our deserts. All of these temperatures countywide will be on the warmer side of average. We are going to, however, be seeing a little bit of a cool down toward especially our mountains and deserts throughout this week. Live look outside shows some clouds hugging the western slopes of the mountains. Sunrise 6:04, so about 3 minutes from now, and sunset coming our way at 7:45. Coming up, we'll talk more about a slight cool down that we can expect throughout the next several days and about those heat-related alerts that could be staying in effect. Back to you.
Right now, California Highway Patrol officers are searching for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in the South Bay. This happened just before 11 last night in the northbound lanes of the 5 near H Street. Details on the victim have not been released. We also don't have a clear description of the suspect's car, but we will update you as soon as we learn more. And in Oceanside, officers are investigating another deadly hit-and-run crash. This one happened just before 10 last night in the eastbound lanes of State Route 76 near Guajome Lake Road. We don't have any information on the victim or what led up to this crash.
In Carlsbad, at least one person has been detained following a stabbing. California Highway Patrol says a fight broke out on the Interstate 5 off-ramp near Tamarack Avenue, that exit. The off-ramp was closed for a while, but it has since reopened. The condition of the stabbing victim is not known. Also not clear what led up to that fight. This morning now, a new rent cap is in effect across the state.
So this means landlords cannot raise rents as much as last year. News 8's Chris Groh live in Claremont with details local tenants and landlords need to know here. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, guys. And that local rent cap here for us is going to be at 8.2%. It's lower than it was last year, but many may be wondering how it is that this is all calculated. Well, the statewide rent cap is at 5%, but then they have to also factor in the local inflation rate. So here in San Diego County, it's about 3.2%. So combined, you're looking at around 8.2%. Now, this is obviously key for tenants and for landlords, as this is the amount that your rent can go up in the next 12 months, as for the next 12 months. Now, we did speak with the director of the San Diego Tenants Union, who says that with this set to expire in the coming years, the law that puts this in place, he believes that this is a big concern and that while 8% is something that was lower than last year, they would still like to see this go down even further because of the cost of living and how much it has been expensive here, especially in California. Here's what else they had to say.
Still, kind of high though. So I think when we're looking at, wages and trying to keep up with rent inflation, it's still, not on the same level. We want to see 2 to 3% caps on rent control. And I know that there's been attempts at capping it at 5%, but, honestly, based on the last 5 years of inflation, it needs to be brought down significantly so that people can catch up.
Yeah, and so the way that this is all possible is actually through, of course, the California Tenant Protection Act. That is something, again, that they are concerned about the length of that and wanting to make sure that that is something that continues to be in place in terms of tenants. We also spoke with the Rental Housing Association, who says and points out that, look, landlords don't have to necessarily increase rent, but this is the amount that they can increase it by, and that they are also continuing to look at this as well, too. Back to you guys in studio.
Chris, thank you very much for explaining that to us. And now in Washington state, look at this. Several wildfires near Spokane continuing to rage this morning. These are massive. Fire officials there say at least 600 structures have been destroyed. Evacuation orders have forced some 60,000 residents from their homes. They all had to flee. 3 fires make up the Spokane Fire Complex, as it's being called. 15 major fires are burning across 250,000 acres in the state.
There are just so many Washingtonians who have literally lost everything in a very, very short period of time. Just in a matter of hours, their lives changed in deeply dramatic and fundamental ways.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, people were saying home after home just burning. Pacific Northwest facing its worst fire season in more than 30 years. Here at home now, CAL FIRE making progress on the grade fire that's burning in North County. This fire, which has charged 689 acres, is now 65% contained. They're getting a better line around it. CAL FIRE stopped forward progress and has lifted evacuation orders. The fire broke out just before 2 Friday afternoon. This near Highway 76, northwest of Lake Henshaw. No word on how it started.
This morning, police are identifying the gunman in the mass shooting at an In-N-Out in Idaho. Authorities say 24-year-old Chad Williams killed 3 people, injured multiple others, and left 2 in critical condition. Williams died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This happened Saturday in Twin Falls. In an eyewitness video, an off-duty state trooper and a citizen actively engaged the suspect by returning gunfire toward him. A possible motive remains under investigation. Negotiations with Iran are starting back up today after President Trump called off what he said would have been a massive attack. President Trump says framework for a deal to end the war is in place with Iran and U.S. allies in the region. But mediators say there is no agreement yet, only talks aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran's foreign ministry said today there are no direct talks with Washington. Instead, Iran is working with Oman on a possible temporary arrangement to keep the strait open. An investigation's underway after a fighter jet crash at MCAS Miramar on Friday. The pilot was able to safely eject and was taken to a local hospital. A person working on the base says he watched 2 fighter jets conducting training exercises. He says the first landed safely, but the second appeared to experience trouble during its approach. The eyewitness said the jet's tail dropped too low. The aircraft skidded on the runway, and moments later, the pilot ejected.
Right now, SeaWorld is refunding guests and giving replacement tickets after power outages on Friday and Saturday forced the park to close. The park welcomed visitors again yesterday, but the outage did cancel Saturday's Jordan Sparks concert there at SeaWorld. And now this morning, we do want to introduce you to the newest member of our CBS 8 morning team, Luca Anthony Navarro.
Vanessa Paz sharing these photos with us. Baby Luca was born a little over a week ago and is doing wonderful. A huge congratulations to Vanessa and Sean, and their baby boy is adorable. Look at those little hands.
Yes, he, was a good size when he came out. Look at those cheeks right there.
Oh, I love kissing those cheeks.
Those little baby cheeks.
Yeah, I
the
remember
sweetest.
those days. Yes, all swaddled in there.
Yeah,
comfy.
so cozy.
Vanessa left a while back from maternity
Yeah.
leave, so we had been constantly
Like every day.
checking in. Hey,
Is he here
any
yet?
baby yet?
Right,
and then last week we had the full moon.
Right.
We had heat
happens.
alerts.
Yep.
I was like, I'm feeling something.
It's time.
So, hey, Luca is here,
Yay.
happy, healthy, and Vanessa gets to spend some time with
Yes,
Luca.
quality
as
time
Sean does.
together.
And Luca's going to have a late July birthday. That's a pretty nice.
Great,
birthday.
exactly.
Yeah,
Summer birthday
Summer
in
baby.
San Diego. Yeah, exactly. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. We just wrapped up a pretty warm one. Temperatures were on the warmer side of average across pretty much the entirety of the county. They will stay on the warmer side of average today, but as you can see, only between about 2 and 5 degrees warmer than average, which is a huge part of the reason why those heat-related alerts along the coast and inland have been allowed to expire. Out toward our mountains and deserts, they stay in effect for a final day today for the mountains, and then through tomorrow for our deserts. Borrego Springs, normal is 108, already hot to begin with, going for 113 as that afternoon high. Here's where our current temperatures are out the door right now. 87 in Palm Springs, pretty warm. 71 in San Diego, 64 in Santa Barbara, and 57, much more mild, up toward Northern California and Monterey area. Central California staying in the mid-50s there. Take a look at where your afternoon highs go. Santee and El Cajon warming up to about 89 degrees this afternoon. Staying in the 70s, mostly out by the coast. 78 in Coronado, 75 in Imperial Beach. San Ysidro warming up to about 80 degrees. North County, pretty similar situation on hand. 77 from Del Mar up to Solana Beach. 79 from Carlsbad to Oceanside. Mid-80s for our western valleys, and then jumping into the 90s easily as you move east. Palomar Mountain, Ramona, Laguna, all spots that could make it to the low 90s, as will Julian, Alpine, Mount Laguna. I mean, boy, we are staying well above average. Again, a final day for those mountains and deserts where that deviation from normal is rather intense. And then we'll start to back off a little bit more for at least Tuesday through Wednesday, but it seems like it'll be more like Tuesday through Thursday where those temperatures will become a little bit more mild. Right now, models do point to another slight, very minor warm up as the upcoming weekend comes around, but there's still plenty of time for those models to adjust. Let's check in on traffic. 6:10 right now. And so far, things have actually been rather quiet on the roads, but we've kind of seen these alerts pop up just one by one over the last half hour. First one I want to take you to that could be causing some delays. It's a disabled vehicle. Right lane is partially blocked there in Del Mar on the 5 southbound right before Del Mar Heights Road. No major backups in either direction. Volume is still pretty light. New crash just popped up here. 2 right lanes blocked in San Diego on the 5 northbound right after Washington Street, so close to the Hillcrest area. Again, this is the 5 northbound that you could be seeing some delays, but right now, thanks to it being 6:11, it's still pretty light in terms of volume. Let's check in on your border wait time, see how long it's going to take you to get across. San Ysidro, port of entry, going to run you about an hour 30 in total. Otay Mesa, port of entry, could get away with half the time cut off there. 45 minutes to get across the Otay Mesa, port of entry. Back to you.